Hi, I'm Amber Ruiz-Bueno, and this is Can 104E Walking and Jogging. Today we're going to talk about why we should walk, the health benefits, and then we're going to learn our proper walking technique, and I'll demonstrate it for you so that you can get a visual on it as well as hearing it. So, why walk? So walking is really good for a lot of things. It's honestly good for the whole body, starting with your heart, so your cardiovascular health. Walking it helps with overall health in that, so helps prevent heart attack, heart disease, stroke, a lot of things that you may not think about now because we're young, but as we get older, those things definitely come into play. So it also can decrease blood pressure, and it helps with anxiety, depression, and stress. So mental illness and things, it can help minimize that. I'm not going to say it's going to heal it 100%, but it's a good thing to keep in mind if that's something you do struggle with. It also gets you outside, and that increases your vitamin D if you're getting the sun, and that can also affect mood, like in a positive way, positively affect mood, and vitamin D is really good for your body overall. So it also helps with circulation. It can aid in digestion, kind of getting everything up and moving around in your body. It also can help build muscle tone, so it's a good way to build muscle tone if you're not into running. It can still do that as long as you're hitting the 10,000 steps a day, which is recommended. So another thing about that is if you're not getting your 10,000 steps in a day, at least focus on getting 30 to 60 minutes of walking in a day, and that is pretty easy if you think about it. It's good for your health and your overall weight management. They say 15 minutes, a good way to introduce that is start with 15 minutes a day, 5 times a week, and then each week increase it by 5 minutes if you're comfortable each day, but you can do less. It's all up to you and your personal fitness goals and everything. Definitely track your walks. Make sure you're keeping track of those things so that you have that goal and you're sticking to it, and it makes you feel accomplished. And while you're doing those things, stay at a brisk pace. Don't just stroll around. Walking, barely moving is not the same as the brisk pace. It's not going to build the muscle tone, and then you're going to be mad if you don't see the results and you're just sludging around. So brisk pace when you're doing the walking is going to be best for you. And then another important thing when you start is to make sure you have a good pair of shoes. So we're not walking around in our sandals and our high heels. We're not walking around in our work boots. We're walking around in good quality tennis shoes, athletic shoes, not cleats. So, there's a bunch of good brands out there. You can choose whatever you like, but the running shoes, the walking shoes are going to be best for if you're going to take it seriously. And then it is a lot better than, I wouldn't say it's better than running, but it's easier to get into than running. So that's what I would say. It's a lot less impact on your body, and it's going to be a lot less injury risk. So it's not as high risk. You're not going to tear an ACL or something. Well, you're not going to do that running unless you're playing a sport. But plantar fasciitis and things like that are going to be minimized as if you were running. So now that we're kind of past the little lecture part of today, we're going to go into the proper walking technique, the proper form, and what that looks like. So there we go. We're going to start at our feet. So that's where we're going to focus on right now. Let me zoom in on my feet. So we're going to look to the side. So we're going to start walking heel to toe. We're not going to shuffle around like this, and we're not going to walk outward or something crazy. We're not going to walk inward. We're going to start heel to toe, like that. And it might not be natural for you at first, but that's why we practice, and that's why we're going to learn is heel to toe. There's a lot more stability in your leg. You're not wobbling around as if you started walking like this. You have a lot more instability, and it's gonna actually, if you do that, it can cause a lot of muscle imbalances up in here and create a lot of problems in your ankle and in your knees. So we're gonna start heel to toe. Then you also want to make sure that you're not, again, like I said, walking like this. Heel to toe like this is not the same. That's going to cause a lot of problems. You got to make sure your big toe is in line, in the midline of your body. So heel to toe, with that big toe in the middle. Let me see my nose really fast. All right, and then that's going to absorb the most shock if we're doing that. It's also a reason why we do it, because it's not putting all that shock right on that. It's putting it here, lots of stability, and using the right muscles in the right way. Again, this is going to cause a lot of instability, and I know a lot of like sprinters run like this, but they have a lot more muscle, balanced muscles in their legs than the average person. So we're not comparing ourselves to elite sprinters here or average people. We can't do that right now. So then we're going to look at, so we're doing heel toe, but then when we get up on this back foot, we're going to push off that part of the midfoot right here. So you're walking heel to toe, pushing off of that. Trying to get that in there. So again, heel to toe, pushing off. And then when we come here, the gait is not overreaching, it's not tiny, it's just your normal gait. See that? Again, if you're overreaching, that's going to cause injury and strain and stress in your legs. So that's another important thing to think about, not like, but just normal. I'm back here where the sidewalk isn't going to end. All right, so then as we're moving up the body, so we're focused on that, we're walking midline. Now we're looking at our form up here. So we don't want our hips outward, and we don't want them like this in the middle of your body, okay? Because again, everything's connected, and doing this is going to cause a lot of strain and pain in your back, and doing this is going to do the same thing. I can't even torque my body that way. So keep it all in line, your back in a neutral position. There's no big S curve or anything weird. Working up, we're engaging our core, engage our glutes, and then working up. The shoulders are not forward, they're not like reaching back, in a neutral position, slightly pushed back, but not like all the way. Okay? And then that takes us up to our head and neck. So our head is just set on our head. We're not doing this. Some people will walk like this. That's not okay. That's going to put, again, strain on your back and your spine, which is, cause a lot of issues in there. So head back, shoulders back, just like this. And that takes us to our arms. So when you do this, you're not a sprinter. You're not doing this, okay? Arms are not going all the way up to your head, and arms are not swinging like this. You want to keep them forward, and then just reaching up slightly to your chest. So that gives you your brisk walking motion to make the most of all your body movements. And then we're just kind of going like this. And that's going to get your most out of your walking as we do our 10,000 steps a day. So thank you. I hope you guys learned a lot from this video, and I hope you enjoy it.